I even have them all typed up. So this is what I originally put in the ground in June. 8 of my original 60 hills did not germinate, and I don't know which ones those were. So some of these may not show up. I did fill in the gaps with Jack B. Littles and Sugar Pie pumpkins, which you won't see on this list. So quick overview of the pumpkin patch. You can see some kind of deterioration of the vines. It has been down, I think we got down to 39. We've been at 39 for a couple of nights. And so that's done a little bit of the damage, but it's also been awful windy, and so that did some as well. And usually when you start seeing your vines start to die down like this, it's getting pretty close to harvest time. So I just want to find like a good classic pumpkin here. I already harvested 2. In fact, I used them up there next to our Savannah urns. But I think this would be a good example right there. Okay, I'm just gonna cut some of these leaves away just so we can see what's going on here. The first thing to look for is the color. If you planted an orange pumpkin, you want it to be orange. If it's mostly green still, it's probably not ripe. This one looks excellent, very uniformly colored. The next thing you can do is give it a thump. So if you hear a nice hollow sound, that's another good sign that it's ready. The other one is how hard the skin or the rind of the pumpkin is. So you can take your fingernail, which I have a sad excuse for fingernails, but see if you can easily pierce the rind with your fingernail. I can't even get mine in there. If your fingernail goes in easily, it's probably not ready yet. If it barely makes an indent or you can't get it in, then you're ready, good to go. And the last sign is stem. So if your stem is hard and darker green, then it's ready. If it's still soft and light green, then it needs more time. So once you've determined that your pumpkin or squash is ready to be picked, you want to use a pair of sharp pruners or a knife to cut the stem, and you want to cut the stem as long as you can. It'll help it keep longer, it's prettier, you know, good stems are really desirable, especially like if you're buying pumpkins to decorate with. But I am going to be storing quite a number of these in our root cellar this fall and winter, and so we want to make sure they have a good long stem. So I've got my Falcos here, and we're just going to go ahead and harvest this one. So I'm just going to go in and cut this right where the stem meets the main branch here. Just like that. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a beauty. This is a Connecticut field right here. So I'm going to start my Connecticut field pumpkin pile right here. I think I planted 3 hills and they're all kind of in the same spot. Big one?
We'll leave those pumpkins there. Let's go get new pumpkins.
You want to help me pick some, baby?
Let's go get some new pumpkins in the pumpkin patch. You gonna toss it to me?
Good job, baby. Here's another one, sweetie.
Thank you.
You would do real well at a pumpkin toss.
Yeah. Here, let's go set them down. Let's go walk over here and we'll set them down. We'll create a pile, okay?
Pile. Right here.
Right there? Why don't we create our pile right here, Benjamin?
That's a good spot. Here, Benjamin. Want to put that in your pile?
Put that right here.
Good job. Oh, yep. Yep. Gotta have a good sized pile.
Put the pile. Put the pile right here. And that one down here.
Do you want to get 2? I don't think this one's quite ready, but we'll cut it anyway. There you go. I can't even believe it, you guys. I can't even believe it. Like, all of those came out of here, and there are some vines that only, like the bigger varieties, only usually produce like 2 or 3 fruit per vine, and I only did like 2 hills of some of the varieties, so I am just so pleased. I went ahead for most of them. I wrote down what the variety name was so that you could see it. I suppose we could have put it on the screen. I didn't think about that. Oh well, it helped me organize everything. So we'll start on this end. We've got some white acorn squash here. There's 10 of them that came off of one plant. Those were actually planted on the west side. So they were planted in the moon garden in the corner. That's the only place I harvested other than just this patch. And these are so fun to decorate with. I love it. I saw one time somebody lined them up on a mantle and did gold letters that said like Thanksgiving or thankful or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but I remember it being striking. Next one, which this vine, there were only 5 ready. The rest I left, but these look like Halloween, don't they? They also look excellent, like if you were to hollow them out and do like a soup, a baked squash with a soup in the middle. They're great for that. A really nice size squash. Then we've got the Taybell acorn squash, which I actually have 2 piles of. We'll run across the other one here in a minute. But these none of these have been cleaned yet, but these look really pretty and shiny when they've been cleaned up. Really good for eating. I really like acorn squash. And then we've got Connecticut field pumpkins, quite a number of them, a couple of which kind of like accidentally harvested those. They're not quite orange yet, but that's okay. We like some variation in color. There are actually a few left. There's like this one right here. And then this one's kind of a monster. Let me show you. Like this one is really large, but it's pretty green. The stem looks good. Like I could harvest it and just use it as a green pumpkin, but I thought I would let it sit out here for a little while longer. And I'm seeing 2 more squash that I missed. I think that I could walk this space over and over again and I would keep finding things. Hold on, I gotta add these to the pile. So after that, we have a variety called One Too Many, which I bought from a farm stand last year, and I really liked it. I only got 4, but they're pretty good size. I mean, it's a pretty good sized pumpkin right there. And one of them came out more blue, like, or kind of like a sagey green and white. Oh, hey, Russell. But I thought that these were really pretty, so I was excited to grow those. Next up are the fairy tales, which should be a different color than they are right here. They should be like more along the lines of this right here. So they were picked a little bit before they were done, but the stems were nice, the rinds were nice, and we trampled that vine. And I just thought, you know what, let's just get them picked and we'll use them to decorate. And honestly, we got enough variation in color, and there's some pinks up there and a lot of orange up there that I think we're okay. And I love the structure. Aren't those the most gorgeous things? I don't even care that they're not orange. They look beautiful just the way they are. Next, we have this beautiful icy blue squash. This is what it's called, right there. And I think out of everything that we grew, this has the best shelf life. They're like a sweetmeat, and they're beautiful. So I will be storing some of these in the cellar and using a few to decorate with. Then we've got a couple that are really similar. In fact, I feel like that one belongs in that pile. I'm not real sure. They all came out kind of in a jumble, but this one's called Strawberry Crown. And then there were only 2 that I picked, and they aren't fully colored yet, but this is what it's called. And I think they're beautiful. Look at this, kind of a muted color. Absolutely gorgeous. And like super wonderful, dense, like super hard rind, super hard stems. Next up are the flat stackers. Now these are impressive. They are so heavy. These are probably the heavier ones out of all of them that we grew. And I think the white is beautiful, and they are gonna be nice to stack. I haven't done much research on this one to know if it's like really good for eating or not, or if it's more of just a specialty decorating type. To look into that. Here are more of the Taybell acorns right there. And then I forgot to make a sign for this one, but these are the Jack B. Little pumpkins. There are more on the vine, but they weren't quite ready. I planted those late. And then this variety, there were just the 2 that were close to being ready. I think these are super interesting to look at. Really interesting markings on their rind. And then we've got the beautiful porcelain dolls. Aren't those so pretty? Oh, I just think they're so gorgeous. The color. We got pretty good stems on most all of these things. Oh, we've got a few more of the fairy tales right here. These are also really heavy. They're big. And then the other one I forgot to make a tag. These are the sugar pie pumpkins. These also went in late. You can see I picked a few green ones. They had really good stems, but I wanted the green for variation. But I think that these are so cute, and they create such like thick stems. And I only picked one of these, and it was an accident. I left all the rest of them out there. The honey nut butternut squash are not ready. They all pretty much look like this right now. So I think they should all be this color. And I think we pretty much steer cleared of the vines, so I think we'll be able to harvest these, but just a little bit later. Then we have this guy. I don't really know where it belongs. I think I put it close to the Cinderellas because I feel like that's the most feasible. Like, I don't know. Kind of looks like it belongs in that lot. Oh, Benjamin. There we go. Cinderellas are always really fun though. Really good to stack, really pretty color. These are really interesting. These are called Quaker pie pumpkins, and I think they're gorgeous. They have a really interesting color. It's kind of like the lightest sage green ever with a tiny bit of pink, like a tannish pink variegation. I don't even know how to, that's how I describe it. I don't know how. Then we've got the Pipian from Texpan squash, which are the more rounded ones here, and a lot of them. Look at that pile. And then we've got North Falkland Island squash, which are the more squatty ones. They look very similar in coloring, but that's the Pipian from Texpan, North Falkland Island. And there's quite a few of those right in there. And then these great big ones are the green striped cushaw. Is that how you say that? Cushaw? Cushaw? Big old beastie squash, and a lot of them. Then we've got Yokohama squash. I think that these might be one of my favorites. I don't know why, but I think they're so interesting to look at. And they've got kind of a warty appearance while not being warty, if that makes sense. They're just so cool looking. Unlike anything I've ever grown. And amazing stems. Look at that. Sometimes like these right here give you hardly anything. Like that is as big as the stem as I could get without like main branch. But these allowed for a lot of room to cut. And then I got a no-name pile. I don't know what these are. These weren't quite ready. I don't think. They're close. I mean, the stems are really firm. They're still pretty green though. So I'll just have to watch those, and I don't even know what kind they are. Oh, now Cheddar's out here. I just want to take one last quick look through these, just so you can kind of see them all at one time. Hey Cheddar. Hey buddy. I would love to know which one of these is your favorite. So that's gonna be it for today's project. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this harvest. I sure enjoyed myself. It was so much fun. It was fun to see Benjamin when he came out here. He had his arms up in the air, and I don't know if we actually captured it on camera, but he was going, "Pumpkin patch!" He was so excited. And it was just so, like, it's such a moment for me because like last year he didn't care about pumpkins. He didn't really know what was going on, and now he's starting to get it, and it's gonna get fun. I'm so excited. Not that it hasn't been fun, you know what I mean. Like when they start to enjoy those things and understand, it's just awesome. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.